Now there's a friendly face. It's good to see you, little human. I am afraid to admit, but I've quite missed our little chats. You were coming in so regularly after that first night, only to disappear without a trace for nearly a week. And you've come in so late that I feared at first you would not be here tonight either. But I know that your business is your own. I know that better than most, in fact. To be the owner of a place like this is to know how to keep my nose out of other people's day-to-day lives. But it seems I had trouble remembering that when it came to you. I suppose it must be the strangeness of it all. I would expect if a shifter or werewolf would disappear for a while. In fact, I'd be surprised if they didn't. Everyone here has plenty of secrets all their own, and even more reasons to keep to themselves. So I don't usually worry when I haven't seen someone for a time. But you... what in a human's life could pull them away from routine, I wonder? Though, I suppose regardless of the species, I probably shouldn't pry. Perhaps your life is more interesting than I first assumed. Maybe that was a misjudgment on my part. It has been quite a long time since I've had a positive interaction with a human before you. I'm afraid I must be losing the wherewithal to understand your kind completely. So, forgive me for that, if you can. Well, I suppose regardless of what brings you here now, or what kept you away, though I am still curious about that one, I should still offer you a drink. That is my job, after all. So, dear human, what can I get for you tonight? Now that you have a mysterious disappearance under your belt, maybe I could convince you to try one of our more specialized drinks? Still no on that one, Well, I suppose not much has changed about you after all. Though, I do hope that one day I'll be able to convince you. What's that? You only want a water? No, it's no trouble, of course. It's not what you usually order. It's a bit of a surprise is all, not an inconvenience. And, well, I know that my own tastes have nothing to do with what you should be ordering for yourself, but you do tend to be a little more, shall we say, talkative once you have some alcohol in you. Still just water? And you're sure? Very well, I suppose, though you are becoming stranger and stranger to me by the second. Even so, your wish is my command. Just give me a moment to fetch that for you. And here you are, just as requested. Now, forgive me for intruding. I know that I mentioned before, your comings and goings are really none of my business, but you do seem to have something on your mind. Normally, I would just wait for you to tell me yourself, but, well, you're more quiet than usual tonight. And without the help of a strong drink, well, I figured I might as well be forthcoming. What's this? A piece of paper from your pocket? Do you have a note for me? Oh, it's not a note at all, is it? If I recall, this flyer was hanging near the door to the bar. Though, now that you mention it, it has been missing for some time now. I suppose I haven't gotten around to making another one. Is there a reason that you have it? You took it the first night you were here. Well, that would explain its disappearance, though I'm still not sure how it would explain yours. You want me to read it? Well, I know what it says, human. I'm the one that wrote it. It's a simple enough request. I put similar ones out every so often. In case you've forgotten, I am indeed a vampire. And vampires need, well, food, just the same as you. It's true, as you may have heard, I am capable of living off of only animals, if I so choose. Though they are not my preferred taste. So if by chance a human comes along who is willing, then I will write up a kind of deal. What kind? Well, in short, I suppose it is blood for money. Ah, now there's a kind of reaction that I'm more used to. Oh, no worries, human. I take no offense. I understand that for someone who has spent most of their time in the human world, this kind of deal can seem a bit arcane. But, well, really, it's no different than what you're doing here with me now. You pay me money in return for a drink, and I deliver. Why, yes, I suppose that's true as well. I could get blood for free, if I wanted. The animals are free anyway. But if all you had to drink for the rest of your life was plain water, how would you feel? Ah, I see. You meant that human blood could be free too. Well, I suppose there are ways that I could get it without paying any money, but I'm not sure if I would call it free. You've been interacting with my world long enough to know that us monsters have a kind of reputation among your kind. Especially these days. The last thing we need is for one of your kind to have something to point to when explaining our wrongdoings. I'm afraid that any kind of bad press, even something seemingly small, would be disastrous for all of us here. Well, perhaps not to you, of course, but no. That is not the type of risk that I'm willing to take. Unfortunately, it has fallen to us to try and save a reputation that was only turned sour through stories and hearsay. But even if that wasn't the case, I couldn't be sure that I was doing the right thing. Feeding on someone without permission. It would leave a bitter taste on my conscience, so to speak. So, though I'm aware it's possibly not the best alternative, and I know many of my kind in other lands that do not follow this practice, the flyer in your hand is the best I can do for now. Though I suppose these days it's become a bit of a last-ditch effort. As I'm sure you know, not many humans come around these days. But I suppose it's just as well. Animal blood is plenty enough to sustain me, even though it's never quite satisfying. But it seems you've gotten me rambling again. I'm sure all of this is quite macabre to someone like you. Most humans would not find it pleasant to discuss my eating habits. It seems you have quite a talent for getting me off on tangents. What's that? You took the flyer for the reason. Yes, Wait. I had assumed that you had taken it because it offended you for some reason. As I said, many humans are not so pleased with the darker ways of my kind, but you've ordered only water. Tell me, when you took that poster, was it because you were interested in doing some business with me? Ah, I see. So, that was your plan when you came in that first night, was it? Just some quick cash? Well, it wasn't a bad one. Some of the rumors of vampires are very true. I could pay you well, if that is what you're looking for. But you didn't end up asking me then, and all these weeks I've seen you, you still haven't mentioned it once. Until now. It's been so long since someone has responded to a flyer of that kind that I'd honestly forgotten about it. Ah, you were frightened, were you? Well, I suppose I can't blame you for that. A whole lifetime with humans and their nasty rumors has turned more than a few against the idea, and I can't speak directly for the humans' experience. However, I'm told that it is often a rather pleasurable experience. My venom has a kind of calming effect. Vampires are more than just wild animals, or even half wild animals as wares or shifters may be. We do not feed on prey, exactly. We wait for them to give in. Blood given freely is worth a lot more than anything I could take from you. And should you want to go through with your original plan, there will be money, yes, if you like. But many of my past associates have found the experience itself to be quite enjoyable. Now, I have already eaten more than my fill of animal blood for tonight. But there are other nights. If you want, an arrangement can be made for the future. I would not pressure you one way or the other, but it has been a long time since I've had anything decent to drink. If you were to choose this, on your own accord, then there would be a hefty sum waiting for you. If fear is the only thing holding you back, then perhaps some money could soothe it. Or, not to say that I would like to coerce you, but I have grown quite fond of you in these last few weeks. I can be very gentle when I want to be. But of course, the decision is yours. What do you say, human? Yes? And you're 100% sure? Yes again. Well, I suppose I don't have to tell you that I had been hoping that would be your answer. I'm sorry that I cannot feed on you tonight, though the thought is very tempting. I am afraid I must resist. Return here in 3 days' time, near the end of the night, if you can. After I close the bar, we will conduct business. Be sure not to consume any drugs or alcohol between now and then, if that's not too much to ask. Excellent. I look forward to our next meeting. I promise I'll make it worth your time.